Uh, Tyrese, 30 minutes-ish from home. Um, just emotions of playing back near the hometown. I assume a lot of families coming. What's that like for you?
I mean, it's exciting, but again, it's just another game. But just grateful for my family to be that close, be able to see me. But it's the same goal as every other game, whether we not back at home for me, just go out there and win and play the best basketball I can for my team.
Joe Cook, go ahead, please.
Tyrese, I know you faced a lot of good players this year in the Big 12 and, throughout non-conference play. You got your first crack at a really good player in Tyler Kolek. I know it's not going to be all you, but what's the key to defending him, and how excited are you in facing off against someone like him?
I mean, Tyler's a good point guard. I kind of played with him a little bit this summer in a couple open runs. We got to go at it. So I'm looking forward to that. But, it's a 5-on-5 game. We got a game plan. They got a game plan. We all got to be confident that, go out there and play and try to see what the outcome would be.
Terry Middleton, please.
Tyrese, good morning. Thanks for joining us today. So I'm curious, what are you specifically working on? Well, I know you want the outcome to be a win, but are there some areas of your game that you're specifically honed in on that at the end of the game you're going to look at it and say, okay, I've improved, or this is how I can get better?
Defense. I feel like if I play, hard on defense, I'm active, I'm in the gaps, talking to my teammates, rebounding, all that can lead to offense. So I feel like defense will take care of everything for me.
Eric Henry, please.
Tyrese, just kind of piggybacking off of Terry's question and your answer there, just wondering, your overall assessment of the team's defensive play overall, just where you feel you guys are at, especially with having so many newcomers, how that's coming along. And just the second part of the question for you, just the mindset and mentality of the team getting a chance at another top 5 opponent.
I mean, we 6-7 games into the season. We just getting started with everything. We got a lot of improvement everywhere, but we're confident where we at to win games. But each and every day in practice, we getting better, improving, trying to maximize each aspect. And our mindset every day is, just be aggressive. You got to have it more. You got to have it more. You got to want it more, and you have that dog mentality.
Joe Cook, please.
Tyrese, have you played any games in Fiserv in your, whether you were in high school and also just for guys who have joined this team and maybe have not played in big environments like that, what do you tell them ahead of going to a pretty hostile place?
Yeah, I believe I played there my freshman year against LSU and Wisconsin. Yeah,
Correct.
both of those. But nah, I'm just telling the guys, man, like I said, it's just another basketball game, another crowd. A lot of people, that's going against us, you know what I'm saying? So we just gotta go out there, be together, make sure our defense travels with us, make sure we positive with each other throughout, the ups and downs throughout the game, and just try to win.
Joe, just a fact check on that. Tyrese was at the same first and second round site that Texas was up there in Milwaukee 2 years ago. He guided Iowa State to 2 wins there before their Sweet 16. Terry Middleton, please.
Tyrese, I'm curious, is there a player or maybe players on the team that raises your bar, that challenges you to be a better basketball player? And what, if there is, what exactly do they do to help you take it to another level?
I mean, during the summer, is everybody on the team. Everybody's going at it, but around this time of the year, it got to be the scout team. They go out every day. They give us the best, the looks, what we need to, go out there and play with. It just get us better. Just going there, watching film, seeing what I can do, to better my game, and just trusting the coaching staff.
Eric Henry, please.
Harry, just want to follow up with having guys like Max and IT who are such great shooters from the outside. How does that help open up looks for guys like yourself and some other guys out there?
Man, I feel like that's one thing that's dangerous and kind of self-explanatory. It spreads out the floor. Having a open drive, if you help, easy read, kick it out. If not, get to the hole, find your big or whatnot. So, you know, it opened up my game and even their games. You know, if people trying to run them off the 3-point line, they can get downhill, make plays for others too, for themselves. So, you know, it make the game easier.
Have time for one last one if anybody wants to raise hand. Terry Middleton, go ahead, please.
So Tyrese, you know, the football team went to the Big 12 championship and won. Is there any what would I say? Do you guys get pumped up and want to do just as well as they did in basketball? Do they encourage you? I know that you guys go to their games and they went to your games last night, or the last game. So how do they influence the way that you guys play? Is it encouragement? Is it just, you know, yeah? Share with us your feelings on that.
I mean, not even just football. I mean, every sport here, you know, always, you know, trying to win championships, competing in a good way with each other, just trying to be the best university overall. So I think just walking around on campus, knowing, you know, all the resources that we have, you know, all the elite players, you know, just wanting to be better. But football, you know, we talk to those guys a lot, and it's a little encouragement, you know, just go out there and do it. But I think from our own personal motivation, getting one last year within, you know, the championship, but, you know, we want it all. We want it all. So we're going to try to come for it all.
Tyrese, thanks for your time, sir. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Morning, Coach. You guys have had a number of these big games over the years, but just in general, a game like this in December against an opponent like this, you kind of know what Marquette can do. What do you look to learn from your group in a non-conference game like this?
Well, I think these are the type of games you really, you know, build a lot of chemistry. You get a chance to go into a hostile environment. You're playing against one of the top teams in the country on their home court. It's going to prepare us for Big 12 play. Big 12 play is going to be like this every night. You're going to play an elite level team, whether it be home or away, and a well-coached team. Shockers teams is playing really well right now at a very high level. So, you know, it prepares us for conference play.
Mike Hard's good to see you. Go ahead, please.
Glad to be back. Good to see y'all too. What's up, RT? How you doing, buddy?
Mike, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Hey, you know, kind of following up on what you just said about the chemistry and everything that goes into it. Each step and each journey is a little bit different than most. What are some of the things that kind of stood out thus far with your team and the chemistry that they're trying to build right now?
I think, again, you know, we didn't have Caden Cedric. We didn't have him at all during the summer. We didn't have him at very little during the first part of the fall. You know, so I think our guys getting a chance to know we can have an inside presence. We know we can have a little bit of an inside presence likewise with the Sioux when he comes back as well. But, you know, just knowing that we can play inside out and put that ball inside a little bit and not have to rely on, you know, shooting jump shots every night to win games. You know, we still want to try to get paint touches regardless, but I think those guys just getting an opportunity to get more and more familiar with one another is a key deal for us moving forward. I mean, we're 7 games in right now, going into our 8th game, and you know, guys are still, you know, finding their way a little bit in terms of you know, even like even in the game the other night against Texas State. I mean, we had to find a way. You know, even in the you know, we had to really build some character in terms of being behind, playing with the big lead, and then having to come back and try to finish the game out the right way as well. So, you know, throughout the course of the year, you're gonna continue to build and grow and continue to build your bench as well in terms of guys coming in the game.
Joe Cook, please.
RT, I know the net rankings came out today, and I know it's crazy to think about in December, but how often do you look at that when you're just kind of going throughout your week, and how important is it to, when you have these quad one opportunities, take advantage of them?
Well, I think it's very important when you have opportunities in front of you, like we do with you know, a top 5 team on their home court. You know, you never take those opportunities lightly. You know, you've got to go out and compete at a very high level and you know, try to continue to get better, especially early in the season, which is really, really great to be challenged at that level this early in our journey. But to be honest, I didn't even know the net had come out today until Brock told me about it. Our video coordinator, Fireball, said that the net came out today, and again, you just work the process right now. It's about what we can control right now, and for us, that's a really big game against a really good Marquette team on their home court, and we just take it day to day in terms of what we have to do to be prepared.
Eric Henry, please.
Morning, RT. Just want to ask you a little bit about the bench guys and IT, Zarek, and Kendall. How you feel those guys are kind of coming along in those roles? Obviously, IT for the majority of his career has been a starter. How he's kind of adjusting to being that first guy off the bench, and again, just some of the other guys, and Kendall and Zarek coming off the bench.
Oh, for sure. I think as the season goes, you continue to try to build your bench, and always tell our guys, those guys coming off the bench, and we said all season long that we could have up to 8 starters on this team. So really guys coming off the bench, or, they get a chance sometimes to play starter minutes. So it's not about who starts the game and sometimes who's coming up. But I know for us, I think IT's adapted and adjusted well to his roles, knowing that he's still a very important piece to what we're doing and an impact player. And when he comes in the game, we expect him to come in the game, ready to score the ball for us and try to come in and guard as hard as he possibly can as well. Zarek's come in, and I think he's given us very valuable minutes in terms of physicality, running the floor, and really just kind of holding the rope until the next guy comes back in. But he's given us some rim protection at times as well. And you talk about Chris Johnson. I think he's continued to develop as a young player as well, and understanding what his role is for us in terms of keeping things simple and working really hard on defense. Kendall Weaver's come in the game and has played really well for us on both ends of the floor. He's done a great job of taking care of the basketball and defending really, really well at a high level, and rebounding well for us as well. So, I think all those guys have come in and they've been contributors for us, and I think they work really hard, as well. They put a lot of time into what they do and stuff. So, they give us good depth, and they've done a good job to this point.
Joe Cook, please.
What's the key to being able to stop a guard like Kolek, and how important, what's his name? Tyrese talked about how he really wants to work on his defense. Is this one of those proven ground games for him to show that he's made that improvement?
Well, I think, again, every game's a big game in terms of, trying to bring a defensive effort, and I think when Tyrese is playing at an elite level defensively, it takes our team to a whole nother level. Even going back to last year, when he started playing defense at a very elite level, our team instantly became really, really good. So, he's one of those guys that want to be all Big 12 defensive player for us. And, Kolek's a really, really good player. I mean, he's a smart player that, again, really has you on your heels all the time because he's constantly putting pressure on the basket, and he's improved his shooting as well. Cam Jones is another really good one that can score the basketball at a high level and can get downhill as well and stuff. So their trio of guards are really, really good, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on us to sit down and try to guard.
Terry Middleton, please.
Coach, good afternoon. So I think I saw that you got to go to Dallas to see the football team in the Big 12 championship. What was it like to be in that moment? And also, what is, you encourage them and they encourage you. What's it like to have, the football team at the game and you be at the game to celebrate that big win?
Well, Terry, I can't really remember a lot of games that I missed, being a part of Texas basketball here. Football, I go to all the football games. I don't miss a football game, and stuff. So I'm a huge football guy. I've always been a huge football guy, and they've had an incredible year this year, and from start to finish. And haven't had a chance to go down to Jerry's World and watch those guys in person and play at the level that they played. That ball game was exciting to see. Our fan base traveled at a very high level, and boy, were they entertained at a high level by what the guys did on the field. I thought those guys got out there and they handled business from the very beginning to the end of the game. I thought that their team, their coaches were all dialed in to finish the mission and win the Big 12 championship.
Noah Gross, please.
Hey, Coach, obvious question with, Shaka being so familiar with this program, just your relationship with him, what's that been like over the years and him facing his former school here this week?
Yeah, no, I've always had a great respect for Shaka. He and I have known each other a long time, and we oftentimes talk as well, whether it be about his team, our team, and things of that nature there. But you talk about one of the best coaches in college basketball, a guy that has his team playing at an elite level, and has done an incredible job in a short time there at Marquette, and to bringing that program back to the top of college basketball. I think they have their highest ranking they've ever had since 1977 or 76, I think it was. So he's done a great job with building a great culture and getting his guys to play really hard and together.
Bob Blue, please.
RT, just kind of along those lines, how fickle is this business? Maybe, I don't know if that's the best way to put this, but, he had so many opportunities, loses on a half-court shot to Northern Iowa his first year here. His final year here, loses to Abilene Christian, in a big upset. How tough is it for someone like that is such a good coach and has such success, but gets never won an NCAA tournament game here and moves on to Marquette? How tough is this to win at the right level?
Well, again, I think he's shown that he can win at a high level. Anytime he had a chance to go to a Final Four, some guys work 40 years and have a whole career and they never get to a Final Four, and stuff. So he's had a chance to get in to an elite level in postseason play and understand what that entails in terms of taking a team there. Really at the end of the day, when it gets down to it in postseason play, you're all on a neutral court. Everybody's had an incredible season. No one's going to be intimidated by anyone, during that time of the year, and, sometimes it's the draw that you get, and, sometimes you got to get lucky too, as you continue to advance, you got to have the ball bounce your way, stuff. It's not always the best teams that win, in those 40 minutes. It's the team that shows up for those 40 minutes and plays at an elite level and that has a chance to advance. But that's what creates the madness of March Madness, and I've been on both sides where I was at a mid-major, and I've been on the other side where you're at a Power 5. Everything's neutralized on a neutral court, and it's anybody's game. You got to come out and play, but Shaka's done it at a very high level, and he's been highly successful doing it.
Have time for a couple last ones. Terry Middleton, please.
Coach, so you had talked about the identity of the team being defense. You want to travel with that identity. I asked Tyrese about what did he want to accomplish outside the win after this game is over. So for you, I would imagine it's defense. Is there a stat or a couple stats that you're going to specifically be looking for after the game to say, okay, this we did fantastic. This is what we're working.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm gonna, we're playing a really good defensive team. Shaka's team they're playing elite on that end of the floor. I'm excited to see how our guys are gonna handle the pressure. One thing I talked about was just taking care of the basketball and being strong with the ball and not getting sped up. Marquette does a great job of forcing teams into turnovers and getting sped up and dribbling the gaps. They're a heavy gap team and stunt team that really gets their hands on a lot of balls and deflections. I know deflections are a really big thing for Shaka and his defense and causing havoc with teams, not valuing taking care of the basketball. So we like to see a growth in terms of taking care of the basketball in a hostile environment against an elite defense. And then I think the next thing is just learning to continue to work the game. Basketball is a game of runs, how we continue to respond to those runs and learning, how to stop a run, as well. So we're early in our journey. We're still learning that with this team. Last year's team took some time, learning what that took to stop a run. and then to go on a run ourselves. So, those are the type of things that we'll be looking for as we make our way through this ball game.
Have time for two last ones. Jeff Jones, please.
Coach, you mentioned a moment ago about your interest in going to the football games. Is there anything that you're able to take from either your relationship with Sark or from what you've seen on the football field and apply it to your basketball coaching?
Well, yeah, I think, I may mention just a little bit ago, Jeff, that I thought those guys were extremely dialed in. They knew exactly how they wanted to attack Oklahoma State. And, I just said it to our guys just a second ago, and how important it is to be locked into the details. Quinn was back there picking those guys apart. The offensive line obviously, gave him great protection, but he knew the scouting report like the back of his hand. He knew his check coverages. He knew exactly what he was looking for. And he really dissected those guys up. And I thought Sark did an incredible job with his play calling, and things, it got to a point to where it just really kind of became unfair, to be honest. I mean, you're throwing touchdowns to Sweat and you're doing those kind of things, it's at a whole nother level, but I thought their coaching staff, I thought their players were all dialed in to preparation and the game plan. And I thought they executed at a high level. And the same thing that we're preaching to our guys right now. We have a game plan for Marquette. We have to go out and we have to execute the game plan in terms of how we're trying to attack these guys, offensively, how we're trying to deal with a really good offensive team as well in terms of how we're trying to defend those guys.
Bob Blue, last one to you, please.
Nothing better than a defensive tackle scoring a touchdown, is there?
How about that, right?
How about for Brock? Obviously been here forever, but to get to face his old coach and the relationship he had developed with Shaka, has he talked much about that at all? And kind of how special is that for him to get that opportunity?
Well, I think I can't speak for Brock, in direct verbatim terms right now, but I'm sure there's always a level of respect to your former coach and a guy that you had a chance to spend some time with and things of that nature there. I'm sure he'd be excited about the opportunity of competing against Coach Shaka's team and everything. But I think there's a mutual respect there among the two of them. And I think, I think he'll be excited about going against one of the top teams in college basketball right now on their home court.
All, thank you for your time, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Coach Terry, thank you.